issue. The Daily Graphic has it. Parliament passes Public Financial Management Bill. The Ghanaian Times also carries the same story and says breach of public financial law. Officials face 5 years imprisonment. The story is saying that public officers will face a prison sentence of up to 5 years if found in breach of the Public Financial Bill, which was enacted by Parliament yesterday. Now, the bill will become an act after President Mahama pens his signature. Now, the bill seeks to consolidate all existing legislations on financial management into one coherent framework and is expected to ensure a more efficient, effective, and economical use of public funds and address persistent weaknesses in the public financial management system. Now, we're told that it will deepen transparency and accountability in the management of public funds and discipline public officers found foul of the law. So yesterday, Parliament passed a law. We're expecting the President to assent to it. Prof, let me start with you. Now, if you watch what has been going on at the Public Accounts Committee, this is indeed a law that is expected. But some have raised concerns that indeed what happens there is done. 2012 accounts are being audited in 2016, sometimes 2012, 13. How will it indeed ensure, this law ensure that people who breach the law are punished?
Well, I'm sure there's a process in place. First, this is welcome news. In Ghana, we have a lot of things. We have free air. We have a lot of views and opinions on a million things in this country. But one thing we are short of is money as a country. A lot of the discussion we had today is part of the fact that we don't have the resources to do A, B, C, D. That is why we're having problems. The NHIS issue, so part of it is resources. If there's resources, the EC could have actually gone to the, what they call it, the polling places and make announcements, do all kinds of things. So resource is a very important thing, fundamental to everything we do in this country. So the little we got in terms of money must be well managed. And I think this particular bill is in that direction. As of the issue of punishing, of course, if you have little money and you want that money to go as far as possible, you want to make sure that you efficiently manage that money. And also, this bill is also going to look at the debt management issue. I think you could see the IMF, the World Bank, people's fingerprint all over the place in this bill. Okay? They're insisting on those things. You must pass this bill to assure us that you can manage some of the money we are giving to you efficiently. You know, some of the, in fact, our budget, part of our budget are supported by some donors. Okay? They want these things in place to be assured that the little we are giving you, since you can make some yourself, you are well managing it. So I think this is a welcome news. How would they be punished? Well, we have laws in this country. Once this is passed, become a law, and the body mess around, we want to see how this will be operationalized. Because if a public servant costs us money, make us lose the little pennies we got, it must be punished. They say 6 months to what? 5 years. 5 years. We look forward. I hope this, I will get a comment from our political colleagues in a minute. Whether let me predict that they will not disagree. They will not disagree. But let me not prejudge them.
Okay.
But I think this is a welcome news, and I think that we should go ahead but make sure that it's implemented. I look forward to the first prosecution on this matter.
Great.
Yes.
Prof, I'm grateful. Come on. So, what is be deterrent enough? 5 years?
Well, I think it's interesting. I like the last bit of Prof's submission when he says that whether or not the punitive measures spelled therein would actually be used or be actually invoked. You see, the point is that we have all the fine laws sitting in our books, all the laws you can think about, beautiful laws. As to whether we even use them is another matter. So sometimes I tend to shudder why we continue to pass, laws. We had the Financial Administration Act, Act 654, which we are told that this new act is coming to repeal, or is seeking to repeal, or is going to be replaced by. I am fine if only we were going to go by the provisions of the law and what the law says it is. Look, 2012 in an election year, with even the Financial Administration Act in place, how much money went down the drain, raising our deficit so high that we've never seen? Didn't you have those laws in place? Didn't you have the management of the public funds, as it were, act in place, which is the Financial Administration Act 654? Okay, today we are coming with a new one. You see, it shouldn't be talk as usual. You bring it or you come about. You went to you contacted IMF on this matter, or they consulted IMF on this matter.
Yes.
They consulted the TUC on this matter. They consulted some CSOs and all that on this matter, and also came up to, Parliament and other institutions of government, the Bank of Ghana and all that. Point is that yes, you will do all these consultations. How well are we going to judiciously use what our funds tells us to do? It's another matter. We sit here, we talk about corruption every day in, day out, with all these laws sitting there. The JIDA, the SUBA, name them. All these things happen under the watch of the law. So for me, yes, I am also going to be one of those who are not so sure of the usage of the law, but better we have it than not to have it at all. So let's pray and hope that Parliament, in their thinking to have come up with this law, we as a people, including the executive, the president is there to accent to it. If he does accent to it, then we as a people should also ensure that we are going to get this law working and working so well. If not, the looting in our system is so high, to the extent that a judge has to tell us that this country is now termed as great loot and share country. I think with this law, we'll be checking it.
We should go somewhere.
Isaac will tell us that they will check it. They will depart from the great loot and share and do the right thing.
Zadongo?
Yes.
Okay, so 5 years.
It's very interesting how we politicize positive development into SUBA and all those things. But this is one law. This is one law that I will tell you goes beyond a government in power. This is a law that is supposed to be a legacy that will reform our public sector financial management. We are focusing too much on the sanctions regime, but this law has more than sanctions. Okay, this is one law that I was very happy to see how vocal Dr. Antonio Akoto himself was on eliminating most of the clauses that gave a lot of discretion, even to the Minister of Finance. It tells you that as a country and as Parliament, they believed that as a country we needed to take a common position in dealing with key challenges to do with our public sector financial. So it is not just about the 5 years and the 6 years. Yes, those are very important. We know that Public Accounts Committee has had challenges with even reviewing the Auditor General's report and recommending sanctions. And so this is going to strengthen that. What we don't have in the Financial Administration Act is catered for in this act. This act is supposed to ensure that some of the challenges we are having, even to do with overspending, is kept. And so budget credibility is a key focus of this bill. This bill, we also know, is very key in ensuring that there's transparency in the processes that allows us to properly manage our public sector financial system. We are also aware that this particular, bill would allow government and the rest of the country to have proper control on ensuring that execution of budget has some level of certainty and predictability. And so there are several strands of this bill that in the end would inform how we manage public sector finances. My big brother here mentions the fact that we have problems with money. But we do know that the weaknesses in our system, the systemic weaknesses in our system, are allowing some of these funds to go down the drain. And they are not often politicians who dissipate these funds. There are public officials that are employed to manage the public affairs who are dissipating the funds. Just read the Auditor General's report. It's replete with people who are in administrative positions that are doing some of these things because the systems are weak. And if you combine this with the new electronic migration that we're having with our GIFME system, we should be able to improve largely, even on making sure that we are properly able to account for government obligations in a year. Now, it is difficult to tell how much government owes, okay, because we are using a system that only captures obligations when cash is paid out. Okay, so when you even award a contract and the activities are being carried out and the certificate is even raised, until it gets into the system, you won't even know how much you are owing. All these are going to be kept by having some of these stringent rules and regulations. And so for me, the new bill, the Public Sector Financial Management Act, if it is passed, if it's finally assented to, it's actually assented to by President, would be the panacea for addressing several challenges to do with our public sector financial management regime. And it is not just the sanctions regime that we are looking at. But of course, politically, when people see 5 years, and you can see the banner headlines, the focus is on 5 years. And we are more interested in the 5 years. But we are losing sight of the fact that a lot of monies will be saved, a lot of efficiency will be brought to bear, and a lot of transparency will be brought to bear in managing public
funds. We're not just interested in the 5 years. What we're interested in is the law not being in use. Point is that we sit here, then the Bank of Ghana is supposed to ensure that they oversee whatever is our forex, reserve, as it were. Yeah. Now, we are told that yes, Ministry of Finance could be empowered at a point in time, whether lawful or not lawful, go pick some money and then dump it in a commercial bank just because we want to make some profit. Now, one question you say, no, we change it from the forex, from the foreign exchange to a local currency that has given us the mandate to do that. Now, if we have laws, sections that have been broken, of Bank of Ghana broken, of course, it is only proper that some of us try to raise.
No, but
so
that's the
point we're making. Yes, the law is good. It's everything.
The issue is that if government, okay, takes a Eurobond, and part of that money is earmarked for a specific organization,
and you can
let me make the point: a specific organization whose own laws passed by Parliament mandates it to run its own accounts. You are insisting that Bank of Ghana should usurp their powers because the money is in foreign and keep at the Bank of Ghana. So if the organization says, I'm ready, my seed money is supposed to be given to me to run.
No.
In fact, as per my
let me explain the case.
Exactly.
No, it's not the case. The organization never said they were ready.
Okay. Who says they are not ready? There's a board in place.
All right.
There's a board in place. They open an account.
No.
All right. There's a board in place. There's no board of Ghana Investment Infrastructure Fund. Are you suggesting that there's no board?
All right.
Well,
okay.
What I say?
Maybe you tell us.
So don't mislead people.
We're not misleading people. We're telling you what
is happening. It is money meant for Ghana Infrastructure Fund, which was given to.
All right, gentlemen, I'm grateful. But this story is quite interesting for me.
You can't force Bank of Ghana to manage.
Just get the laws working. That's all we're talking about.
And that's what the law was working. If this was wrong, I can assure you the MPP would have run to court if anything was broken. MPP would have been in court by now.
The Ghanaian Times has this story I find quite interesting. It says that 2,807 men were beaten by their wives last year. And also, it's interesting. And about 13,000 women were also beaten by their husbands last year. But if you look at the figures, 2,000 for last year, the previous year was over 3,000. So there's a reduction. And the same as with the women, 13,000 for last year. The previous year was 15,000. So I think wives beating and men beating is going down. It's interesting. Gentlemen, I'm grateful for your time this morning. Professor Clement Junu is the president of Accra Institute of Technology. Prof, grateful for your time this morning.
Thank you.
And thanks so much for joining us. Isaac Adongo is a NDC candidate for the Bolga Central constituency. Congrats to you for joining us. And we hope to see you in your constituency. And then Kamal is the NPP National National Coordinator. Kamal, and wish you a great weekend.
Thanks for having us.
All right, and thanks so much. A good brother, yes. all from Bolga, yes. I love Bolga Pito. I love Bolga Pito so much. Yeah. Okay, I will. All right.
Unfortunately, I don't go that way.
I know.
Who doesn't extend to that level?
I know.